Imagine walking down the pasta aisle of your local grocery store. You've got long strands like spaghetti and linguine on one shelf, short tubes like penne and rigatoni on another, and then suddenly, bow ties, shells, spirals, wheels, and even ear-shaped orecchiettes staring back at you. At some point, you might wonder, do we really need this many kinds of pasta? Couldn't Italians have just picked a couple and called it a day? Turns out, every single pasta shape has a reason for existing. Whether it's to hold a certain sauce, reflect a region's tradition, or simply add variety to our plates. And that brings us to today's big question. Why does pasta come in so many different shapes? We're about to dive into the history, the culture, and the delicious logic behind this pasta puzzle, right here on History of Simple Things. The story begins, as you might guess, in Italy, but pasta's roots stretch even further back. The ancient Romans already ate something like lasagna sheets, and Arab traders brought early forms of dried noodles to Sicily during the Middle Ages. These noodles were convenient for travel and storage. Over time, Italians did what Italians do best. They turned food into art. Each region of Italy started experimenting with dough, made from just flour and water, sometimes eggs, and shaping it in ways that matched their local traditions, tools, and needs. Think about it. People didn't have standardized machines back then. Pasta was shaped by hand, and the creativity of Italian households blossomed into a culinary kaleidoscope. That's why even today, certain pasta shapes are tied to specific regions. Orecchiette from Puglia, trophy from Liguria, or peachy from Tuscany. Here's where it gets interesting. Pasta shapes weren't created just to look pretty. Each design has a functional purpose, usually connected to sauce. The Italian philosophy is that pasta and sauce are partners. One is not complete without the other. For example, spaghetti works beautifully with thin, oil-based sauces like aglio e olio. Why? Because the slick surface of the noodle allows the sauce to coat evenly. On the other hand, chunky sauces, say a ragu full of meat and vegetables, need a pasta shape with ridges or hollows, like rigatoni or penne. These nooks and crannies trap the sauce, making each bite flavorful instead of watery. It's a bit like matching outfits. You wouldn't wear flip-flops to a formal wedding, and you wouldn't use angel hair pasta in a heavy meat sauce. Shape and function have to align. Beyond sauce pairing, there's also the matter of texture. Pasta isn't just about taste, it's about how it feels when you bite into it. Long, thin pasta like linguine gives you that satisfying slurp, while a chunky pasta like farfalle provides a playful bite. Shells literally scoop up sauce and fillings, delivering bursts of flavor in every mouthful. Italians call this al dente magic. The texture of pasta is designed to make eating a more interactive experience. Imagine eating mac and cheese with plain spaghetti. It just wouldn't hit the same. The creaminess would slide right off instead of clinging to every bend and curve of the macaroni. Now, pasta shapes aren't just about taste. They're also about culture and identity. Italy isn't a monolithic pasta factory. Each region has its pride and heritage baked or boiled into its pasta traditions. Take Sardinia's malarettas, also known as gnocchetti sardi. These little ridged shells are iconic in Sardinian cooking, often served with sausage and tomato sauce. In Emilia-Romagna, tortellini reign supreme, said to be inspired by the navel of Venus. In Naples, ziti is the star of wedding feasts. These aren't just noodles, they're edible symbols of local pride. When Italians emigrated to other parts of the world, they brought these shapes with them, spreading their culture across continents. That's why today you can walk into a store in New York or Manila and find 100 different pastas on the shelves. Another reason pasta shapes exploded in variety is simple: technology. For centuries, pasta was handmade with knives, rolling pins, and wooden boards. Shapes were limited to what you could sculpt with your hands or carve with simple tools. But with the rise of pasta extruders, machines that push dough through metal dies, suddenly the possibilities multiplied. That's how you get playful shapes like wagon wheels, spirals, and even pasta that looks like tiny radiators. Some were made for fun, others for efficiency, but all of them became part of the pasta family. Factories could churn out consistent shapes in massive quantities, and pasta became not just a regional dish, but a global staple. Italy may be pasta's birthplace, but the idea spread worldwide. Macaroni became iconic in America, Spätzle in Germany, Sousa in Hungary, and countless noodle variations in Asia. Wherever it went, the same rules applied. Shape, sauce, and texture had to work together. Today we recognize over 350 pasta shapes, and the reasons are simple. 1. Tradition. Each region guards its pasta like a piece of cultural identity, passing down shapes that tell stories of family, festivals, and history. 2. Practicality. Different sauces, fillings, and cooking styles demand different shapes, because a noodle's job is more than looking good, it has to perform. 3. Creativity. Humans love variety. From shells that scoop up cheese to spirals that cling to pesto, pasta shapes reflect our playful side. Some shapes became global staples like spaghetti, while others remain tied to local culture. Together, they show how pasta is both heritage and innovation, always evolving, yet always familiar. So, why does pasta come in so many different shapes? Because food isn't just about filling your stomach. It's about culture, history, function, and fun. Pasta shapes are a living reflection of Italian ingenuity, human creativity, and our endless love of variety. Next time you're in the pasta aisle and can't decide between penne and fusilli, remember, you're not just choosing noodles. You're choosing a piece of history, a design perfected over centuries, and a tiny architectural marvel built for flavor. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.